Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning. We're so pink this morning. My youngest son, when he was in grade 1, came home one day and asked Mrs. Rev, "Can people own colors?" And knowing that he probably wasn't talking about the complexity of trademarking, she said, "Why? What do you mean?" He said, "All the kids," he loved pink and he was wearing pink. "All the kids at school say that boys can't wear pink." So I hope he's watching this morning. You all look wonderful. We're going to begin with hymn number 33, Love Divine, All Loves Excelling. It's not one we're super familiar with, so listen as you sing. Please stand, number 32. I think that's enough. You can be seated. I think that's is that too high for this early in the morning? Yeah. What a bunch of wimps. No, that was fine. Thank you all. So, in a couple of days, it's the feast of St. David. And St. David is the patron saint of what country? Who knows? Ireland, not Ireland. Wales, yes. St. David is the patron saint of the great country of Wales. And we don't know very much about him. He lived a long time ago. But what we do remember from him, as Mr. Samuel will tell you, is that we have a little snippet of a sermon he gave, and the theme was, pay attention to the little things. And of course, today as we celebrate kindness and the importance of kindness in our lives and our community, we know that kindness is in the little things. And Mother Teresa kind of took this to another level, and she said, not everyone can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. And I think that's kind of the theme that we're celebrating today, that it's in the little ways that we treat one another. It's in the small things, the smiles, the kind words, that really have an extremely significant impact. It's kind of a funny rule of life. And you all know this, that a smile from someone can completely change your day. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to invite Mr. MCB to come forward and lead us on.
Thank you very much, Rev. Today's chapel
will be fairly brief, and it's not so much about the words we say today. Hopefully there'll be a few things that you can consider. What we really would like to see is how you act today. Now, I'm really amazed and humbled by the acts of kindness that go on at Shawnigan day in, day out. But let's make an extra effort today, hey? Hold that door. Just do that little thing that makes somebody feel better about themselves. Speaking of that, feeling better about themselves, it's a quote that you do see out there quite a bit. It's by Maya Angelou. It goes like this: "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." And isn't that the truth? We all know that. We've all been on either side of the situation where somebody says something that just makes you feel that little bit better about yourself. And unfortunately, the opposite. Now, we're all here celebrating Pink Shirt Day, which is known as Anti-Bullying Day. I think it's really important that we know the history of it. It started back in 2007 in our very own Nova Scotia, where a grade 9 student turned up for the first day of school wearing a pink shirt. Like Rev said, just thought he'd show up in his best pink shirt on the first day of school, feeling good, and had a terrible time. People used homophobic language against him, and he was really down. Now, 2 grade 12 students noticed this. And rather than just moving on and saying, "Oh, that's the way it is," they decided to do something. And how many times have we talked about this? To make this community better, you need to recognize when something isn't quite right. You need to care enough to do something. But then the critical thing is you need to act. So what these 2 grade 12 students did was they went out and got 50 pink shirts. And the next day they distributed them around to their friends. And the next day 50 plus people showed up wearing pink shirts in support of this grade 9 student who was not treated in the right way. Imagine how that grade 9 student felt at that time. Pretty powerful stuff, I think. So obviously this has grown across the country and across the world. And Pink Shirt Day is recognized in lots of different ways, all based around treating people well. Now, unfortunately, one of life's realities is that sometimes people don't treat each other well. And we all know that acts of unkindness can have such a major effect on people and can lead to such terrible things. Unkind behavior can also lead to bullying. Remember, bullying? When somebody is making somebody feel bad, or people are making other people feel unsafe, it's prolonged over time, and there's a real or perceived power imbalance. Now at Shawnigan, we do not tolerate bullying, and we've put on you guys the importance of doing your part. If you are being bullied, or if you know somebody is being bullied, come forward to a student leader, or go to a trusted adult, and action will be taken. Hope everybody knows that. And what I'd like to do is pass on a lesson learned from yours truly. Sometimes, when people act unkindly, in most cases, it's not about the person who they're being unkind to, it's about themselves. It's a reflection of the person being unkind at that moment of time. Of course, it's more difficult to be on the receiving end, so what do? I've noted the first thing to do, and it seems very, very simple, and it's easy to say, but very difficult to do: speak to that person. Now, what I reckon you should do is consider 3 different things. First of all, if somebody's unkind to you or says something that makes you, just cuts you a little bit, take a little bit of time, don't react straight away. Never a bad thing to sleep on it. If there's still, it's not feeling quite right, or if it's bothering you, find that person, find the right place, the right time, and say, "Look, I just want to talk to you about what you said before. It didn't make me feel very good," and engage in that conversation. 2 benefits to this, of course. First of all, and from a guy who's been there, it takes a weight off of your shoulders. That thing that's just been nagging you inside, it's a really liberating feeling, and it gives you that sense of relief. You've just got it off your chest. And also, of course, it gives the person who has been unkind, it makes them recognize the effect that they have had on you. I think little correction by correction, letting people know, and open communication is going to take this school, this community, and beyond to a situation where people are more kind to each other. So I don't want to dwell on the how to deal with unkindness. What I'd like to do is to call Corbin and John up for the different side of things. Gents?
Kindness, the quality of being friendly, generous, and considerate. Although there is a general stereotype that being kind is not the coolest thing, let us reassure you that's the furthest thing from the truth. The people who I look up to most in my life are the ones who selflessly and continuously are kind and generous to others. Now, I'm not saying you have to go and buy someone roses or tell them how much you love them every time you see them, but it's the small things. Holding the door for someone, saying hi, or even a small smile will suffice. What I'm trying to say is you never know how a person is feeling. Knowing from experience, I don't think many people realize how much that smile or hello can brighten someone's day. I remember when I was younger, I was always very insecure about my appearance. But the people who went out of their way to be nice to me, I will remember for the rest of my life. Be kind to others. It can go a long way.
Some examples of kindness include complimenting someone on their hair, clothes, or something they do well, holding the door for someone, congratulating someone on some sort of achievement, whether it's sports, academics, or something personal, or even telling little trees music's pretty good. As these small acts of kindness not only make the person feel better about themselves, but encourage them to do the same to others. If we all take the time out of our day to carry out a small act of kindness, Shawnigan, as a community, will become a more inclusive, joyful, and thoughtful environment. So we encourage all of you to be kind to others. Not only will it make their day, but also make you feel better as well. Together we can change the world, just one random act of kindness at a time. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Just a closing thought from me is that something I heard a long time ago is that the psychological weight, the kind of way we experience things, it takes 9 positive things, 9 acts of kindness of some sort, have the same psychological weight as one negative experience. So it is really important, the little things, because we need lots of them to add up to kind of balance out the difficult things in life. So we have a chance to redeem ourselves after our first hymn. We'll sing the Lakes House hymn, Amazing Grace, and I know you all know how to sing that well. Hymn number 6, please stand.
Excuse me, Miss Daniel, could we try that again, please? Please be seated. Let's do it properly.
Our final hymn will be hymn number 6, Amazing Grace. Please stand. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.